Hello, I'm Suzanne Bailey. I am your go-to realtor with Coldwell Banker Realty in Sarasota, Florida. And my mission and goal as a realtor is to provide you with the best customer service possible to sell your home in the shortest amount of time at the highest price with the least stress for you. But I also enjoy doing videos of local business owners in Sarasota. So today I'd like to introduce you to Ron Estep. Ron is the owner and artist at White Stained Glass LLC in Sarasota, Florida. Hi, Ron.
Hi.
So Ron, tell our viewers, how long have you been in this business?
Started in 1972.
Oh, did you recently celebrate a big moment?
Well, a year ago, it was 50 years, so it's 51.
That's pretty good. I also understand that your work is going to be featured on an HBO show at some time in the future?
Well, they're filming something in Orlando, and some of the windows will be part of the backdrop. So
I think that's pretty exciting. One of our local artists is being featured on an HBO show.
Well,
don't be modest. So how did you come to be a stained glass designer, artist, builder, business owner?
well, when I graduated from college with a degree in art, I needed a job, and one was available as a designer for a local, this was back in Texas, a local stained glass studio. And I went to work for them, and 3 years later I was the manager and designer, and worked for them until 1994 when they decided to sell the business. And I met Kate White, whose father started this studio back in Canton, Ohio.
Oh, nice.
And he moved the studio to Sarasota in, I think it was 79. And he had a large family, and everybody in the family eventually worked for the studio. My wife was helping run it and was a designer when I met her. And so I moved to Florida, and we got married, and we started running the studio until she decided she wanted to retire in 2017. So it was a corporation at that time. She dissolved the corporation. I took over the assets.
I've seen some of your designs, and they're just beautiful.
Thank you.
So you primarily design stained glass windows or stained glass for churches?
That's the primary business. We do residential work and some commercial work, but the vast majority of our business is churches.
Yeah. Actually, Ron is a world famous stained glass artist. He has work featured not just in Sarasota, but all over. So Ron, tell us where we can see some of your work.
Well, in a relatively local area, we've done some Disney work. St. Raphael's up in St. Petersburg. We've done work at can't remember the name of the church now, but in Gulfport.
And you have a local church that you're doing some work for right now?
Yeah, St. Patrick's Catholic Church out on Bee Ridge Road.
Okay. And what about in other countries?
Did the Sanctuary of the Virgin of Guadalupe in Monterrey, Mexico.
Oh, I'll have to go see that.
And just a hop, skip, and a jump over there. I've done a number of small jobs in Puerto Rico, St. Croix, and St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands.
Are these mostly in churches?
Yes.
Yes. So anybody happens to be in any of those countries, they'd be able to see work that you've done.
Yeah, at least one. Yeah.
So what's really interesting, to me anyway, is how this process is and why it's called stained glass. I had no idea. So tell us a little bit about the process. Oh, but first, let's introduce your helpers here.
Okay.
Hello, smile for the
How are
camera.
you guys doing?
Uh,
Blake Wallenda.
hi.
Hi, I'm Blake.
Oh,
I've worked for Ron for about 12 years now.
Yeah.
I love it here. I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Not just working in the stained glass art, but also several applications and various ways to install it and be productive during the times that you're trying to think about installing it.
and when you're not doing stained glass, what are you doing?
Oh gosh, I'm not doing stained glass. I'm all over the place. I'm actually a high wire performer, so I'm out doing shows. I do a lot of local shows in Sarasota as well, but I do a lot of stuff around the country and abroad too.
Yes, you work with your cousin, Nick Wallenda?
Yeah, I work with my cousin Nick a lot. Recently, I've been doing a lot of my own gigs, but I've helped him on the majority of his big walks that he's done with their major TV outlets.
Oh, it's nice to meet you. Well, I'm hoping that, you'll be in some museums someday.
Well, the nice thing about churches is
They're always there.
they're always there.
Yeah.
And
We do the repairs
So-
at Ringling Museum, and that's
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not our glass, it's Louis Tiffany, but we have to fix it a lot.
See, his work doesn't hold up. So, back to the process. So, someone, a church or individual, comes in and they want to retain you to do a stained glass window for them. Let's talk about the church.
okay.
Okay, and then the first thing you do is,
Well, we decide on either a design or a direction. If it's one window, is it going to be multiple windows, or trying to tell a story, or they want to emphasize, say it's St. Joseph Catholic Church, they want to emphasize St. Joseph. Then I will come up with a design.
yeah,
I first sketch it out. If they approve the general layout, then I'll hand put color on the design so they can see what it would look like once it's produced. When that is approved, then we go to the job site and take measurements, and we make a drawing of the opening. We call that the layout. Then within the layout, I transfer the images that I had on the design onto the layout. That stage is called the cartoon. And we will often have the church approve the cartoon before we proceed. It's not something we do all the time, but often the church would like to see it before
Yeah.
it goes to the next step. The next step, we use the cartoon and we make tracings of it. One to build on top of, which we call the glazing copy, which is what he's doing now, glazing the window.
yeah. Let me move out of the way so people can see that. Okay.
We use a heavy paper, it's like a manila paper. This is some right here.
Oh, yes, it is heavy, like a manila folder type. Yeah.
And we cut it apart based on the design. The lead has a heart,
Okay.
and you have to account for that or your panel will grow. You can't just use a regular pair of scissors to cut up your patterns.
I see that because it's like a little slot sort of thing there.
Right.
Yeah.
And the glass goes in here and
Mm.
goes in here, and
Okay.
it's separated by that
Right.
center part.
I gotcha.
And after that, if there is painting involved, you can show a piece of painted glass. We've got a piece of painted glass to be done,
Yeah, but there's a right here. There's this black.
painted line,
Yeah.
and then there's shading in through here, and all that has to be fired in a kiln. And then once that process is done, then we begin putting it together or glazing it, which is what he is doing.
So this is a complicated process. It's
Yeah,
just not a
there are
matter.
a lot of stages.
It's not
to
a
it.
matter of just fitting colored pieces.
Piece of glass is probably
Once he gets it all glazed together, then every place where lead touches another piece of lead, it's soldered.
Okay.
Then you have to flip it over and solder the other side. And then we go through a sealing process, which is, you can't see it here, but Jesse is sealing a window now.
Okay.
With putty mixture that's pushed up under the lid.
Okay.
And then the panel's cleaned off. And once that's done, then we put steel bars about every foot across it. This is a steel bar here, and it's put vertically on the panel like this. The panel lying here, and that provides stiffness.
Okay.
The window would be very flimsy without it.
Yeah, they're pretty large, so yeah, you would need that, I'm assuming.
Once that's done, it's ready to install.
But tell us how it got the name stained glass. I thought that was very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was, before it was called stained glass, it was just art glass or leaded glass because of the lead cane. But in the 14th or 15th century, I can't remember which one it was, the English figured out that if you put silver nitrate on the glass and fire it in the kiln at about 1,000 to 1,050 degrees, the silver nitrate will turn the glass a golden color. And whereas most of the paint that we apply to the glass when it's fired just melts into the surface of the glass, the silver nitrate actually penetrates the glass.
Right.
And it is a true stain, and
Yeah.
that's when it began being called stained
Yeah.
glass.
Well, I think it sounds better than art glass. It's
Yes.
more mystique. So this has been so interesting. I'm so glad that you were here with me today to do this, because now I feel like I'm an expert. But there's some of his work that you'll see during this interview, and the one that you're going to see is going to be installed in the church
St. Patrick's.
St. Patrick's on Bee Ridge.
Right.
So you may want to, when will it be done?
It'll be completed next week.
Oh, so not only can you go to church, you can enjoy the artwork.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much for viewing this. Thank you so much for this. I just had a lot of fun doing it. And if I can help you at anything with your real estate needs, call me at 850-726-0848 or visit my website at SuzanneBailey.com. Have a great day.